The Last of Us Season 2 Episode 1 premiered last night, and man, I can't help but feel there is a pending doom coming. It's that feeling of watching The Walking Dead Season 6 and just waiting for Negan's arrival. Let's get into this discussion episode. My name is Suplex. I have not played the games, but I watched PewDiePie play it back in the day, and I do watch and review movies and TV shows, so like and follow for more like this. Let's get into this review. The episode opens up with a character named Abby, who is plotting with her group to track down and kill Joel. Full transparency again, I did not play the games growing up. Story-driven games were just not for teenage Suplex, but I did watch PewDiePie play the first game when it came out in 2013. I loosely watched him play some of the second game, but I didn't watch the whole thing. So I'm pretty fresh when it comes to this season. But I do know that major plot point that's coming. So we'll talk about that. The season starting off with Abby's arrival definitely sets the tone for what's to come in the future. And if you know what's coming, it's just like, this isn't the last time we saw Abby. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. We get an introduction to quite a new set of faces we're going to be seeing throughout the season. One of which being Dina, who I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this season because it seems like her and Ellie have a little bit of a thingy thing going on. We even get to see Dina and Papa Joel interact a little bit here. They seem to have a pretty nice relationship, and I think it really echoes the relationship that Joel really desperately wants to have with Ellie, at least again. I say that because, as you'll see throughout the episode, Ellie is extremely standoffish with Joel. She spends most of the episode avoiding him, and then when she does come across him, it's always like negative energy. Even Dina's like asking Joel, like, hey, what's going on with Ellie? Like, she seems kind of, Joel's like, yeah, teenagers at that age, they all hate their dads. Dina's like, but it seems a little personal. I'm pretty sure this disdain she has goes all the way back to the finale of season 1. I know this is a hot topic, talking point for a lot of people for years up until this point, so I'm going to touch upon it just a little bit here real quick. In the finale of season 1, we know that Ellie is immune. Ellie is potentially the cure to basically all of this. Now, Ellie knows that she's the cure, but I don't think she truly knows what goes into finding the cure. She just knows she is that because that's what she's been told by the Fireflies, the same group that captured her and Joel at the very end of that episode, well, the beginning of that episode. Now, we don't know if Ellie would have been 100% down to die for the cause, but we get the sense that she would have been okay with it, at least from her dialogue. That doesn't matter because Joel broke her out of there. He killed all those people and broke her out. And when Ellie wakes up, Joel tells her, hey, they couldn't find a cure. Raiders came in, killed everybody. Raiders killed everybody, not me. Just tell her a straight, bold-faced lie to her face. That's where we get the finale where Ellie's like, swear to me. And Joel's like, I swear. And then Ellie's like, okay. And it's such a powerful ending because it's realistic. People may not want to hear this, but what Joel did was selfish. I understand why he did it. I don't entirely disagree with why he did it. But if Ellie is the cure, let's say for the sake of this video, that Ellie was the cure and that the doctors at the Fireflies knew exactly what to do and it involved Ellie dying. You went in to not only save her, but kill the only people who could potentially cure this virus because you wanted to save the girl who isn't your daughter. I know she represents your daughter, but she's not your daughter. And then when she asks you what happened, you straight up lied to her face and told her, oh yeah, well, I kind of took you away because they couldn't figure it out. Then yes, you can't convince me that Joel's actions weren't self-motivated. They were. And Ellie has every single right to be upset with Joel because A, again, you lied to her face about what happened. And 2, you made the choice for her. Even if Ellie decided, okay, I want to sacrifice myself, it's too late now. You killed all those people and you saved her already. But it's the duality of that whole conversation, right? Because the other option is, okay, let her die and let her be the cure, even though she doesn't fully know the extent of that surgery because she didn't know she would die if she did the surgery. She just went in because she assumed maybe she would survive it. But again, Ellie doesn't know that. All she knows is Joel lied to her about what happened. At least that's what we think because we still haven't gotten that explanation yet. I'm sure it's coming up in a future episode. All right, let's continue on now. We also get to see Papa Joel in action again with his brother Tommy's son. This is where we learn that Joel thinks they're letting too many people into Jackson. A topic that I feel like is probably not something too big now, but will come up a little bit later on. We get to see Joel taking therapy. And who's playing his therapist? None other than Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara is in the Willem Dafoe era of her acting career. You cannot keep this woman still. She was in Beetlejuice last year. She's currently in another show, The Studio on Apple TV, and now she's in The Last of Us. She's in 2 existing TV shows right now. You You get to see her every Wednesday and Sunday night. Mama is staying employed, and I love that for her. Basically, within this session, Joel tells her that, I feel this way about Ellie. We're on the rocks right now, but I hope she comes around. This is when Catherine O'Hara character's Gail tells Joel, I think you're full of shit. I think you're leaving out information. So let me tell you a bit of information I left out when we first started talking. You killed my husband, Eugene, and I hate you for it. You killed my husband, Eugene, and I understand why you did it, but it's how you did it that angers me. And I've tried to find reason to forgive you, but I just can't. Her speech is just immaculate. I loved it. From what I read, she's not actually part of the video game, and I saw some people freaking out about this. Y'all do realize that like TV and movie adaptations don't have to follow the exact blueprint of the video game, right? This character's inclusion was interesting to me, no matter if she was part of the video game or not. We wouldn't have gotten to see her say, all right, Joel, I've told you what I'm hiding. Now, what are you hiding from me? We wouldn't have got that scene if that character didn't exist in the show. And Joel's on the brink. He's on the verge of confessing what he did, but he leaves. He can't do it. He knows what he did, and he knows why Ellie is upset with him, but he can't still come to terms with it just yet. The big second act of this episode is Dina and Ellie venturing into town outside of Jackson. We get to see more of their dynamic. They're not in a relationship yet, but we get to see instances that like, yeah, it's developing. It's coming along. They're teenagers, so they're being rebellious and trying to be funny and all that stuff. This is where we get to see another infected variant known as the Stalkers. Which to me looks like a human that isn't fully like clicker yet, but still has like remnants of the human brain in there because they're able to like run away and basically stalk Ellie. Almost like a Shaun of the Dead type zombie, which, that's interesting. I like that. Ellie does get bit by one of the stalkers, which almost scared me, but then I remember like, oh yeah, wait, she's immune, so she's fine. Ellie does hide her being bitten from the council, but she does tell them that, hey, I know there's stalkers out there. This is what's going on. I like seeing how communal Jackson is now. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of that council later on. Get a little bit more interaction with Joel and Ellie. Joel's like, hey, there's an event going on tonight. You should show your face. Ellie's like, why are you talking to me? Get to see a guitar, which if you played the game, you know where the guitar is from. Fast forward to the party, and now Ellie and Dina are dancing with each other. Dina and Ellie were dancing. They shared a kiss. They were basically dancing around like, we deserve each other, and Joel helped it come true. This is when a homophobe comes up to them and calls them a word that rhymes with bikes. Joel shoves them away, and Ellie's like, I didn't tell you to save me. What the fuck is your problem? Even when he tries to help, he can't win. Story of a man's life, right? Towards the end, we see Ellie walking outside, and as she walks past this like broken pipe, she doesn't see it obviously, but we see there's like cordyceps that are emerging through these like twigs within the pipe, which is like, I'm just sitting here like, are we about to get a Walking Dead season 4 scenario where like it's an airborne illness and then people just start dropping like flies, basically turning into clickers? Because if so, y'all know there's only one woman for the job. There were any excuse for a Walking Dead Last of Us crossover, we gotta get Carol on the show. I'm sorry. If this is a storyline we're going with, we gotta get Carol on the show. The episode ends with Abby's group looking off in the distance as they have found the location of Jackson. And I'm just like, I know the PGAs are this weekend, but like, are we about to go golfing this early on? Like when they announced season 3 of The Last of Us, I thought, okay, they're going to drag this out to the end of the season where Abby and Joel and Ellie all meet up and they confront each other. But like she that's a day's walk away. This is a distance where like, oh, she could arrive as early as like the end of the next episode. The question isn't, are they going to do it? Because I'm pretty sure they are. Like, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you know, you know. The question is, are they going to do it this soon? Like, it's episode 1 and she's this close. I'm like, I thought they were going to drag it out. Like, okay, first episode, we see Abby. Second episode, this is where she's at. This is where she's at in this episode. By the finale, now she's here. Listen, all I know is that episode 2 just so happens to fall on WrestleMania Sunday. If I'm watching WrestleMania and I find out mid John Cena versus Cody Rhodes that Abby, Joel, and Ellie all went golfing, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. I don't think I'll be able to handle the emotion and the weight of that during WrestleMania. So y'all better stretch this out a little bit longer. That's all I know. All in all, this was not a perfect season 2 opener, but I largely enjoyed everything I saw. I enjoyed the character development, new characters being introduced, and I'm excited for the future, even if doom and gloom is inevitable. What did you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know. I will be reviewing episodes going forward, so please stay tuned for that. Talk more soon.